Hi there everyone, Scapegoat Stephen back with another video match report. This one took place at our local club Fanitball. Here is our nice newly designed logo from Jason York out of America. Basically we ran a competition to get a new logo, and this is the result, as I think you'll find. Really nice, really happy with the quality. So we sent Jason a nice little goodie bag including 2 resin captains, a bunch of dice, that sort of thing. So this was at, like I said, Fanitball club night. So that was at the Digi diner as always, and it was going to be between my Masons and technically my Farmers, but I'm lending them to one of our locals, Damon, for a league, so he's using them in this match report. So I'm on the left, he is on the right, so we'll get straight to it. So Damon opted to kick with Thresher Farmers. So going down the Farmers side, you've got Jackstraw at the top, Tater, Thresher who's kicking, Plowman, Windle and Buckwheat. I think that was the right choice, the actual kicking side, because you've got that lovely forest there that you can just go dip into to be cover. On the left hand side, running down, I've got my Tower, Marbles, Granite, Corbelli, Flint and O Chisel. So there's a little discussion about where does Thresher want to kick the ball to. This is kind of ideal scenario for both teams. Corbelli really loves to receive the ball. He can hammer home potentially 2 goals turn 1 thanks to his legendary, and Thresher really wants to kick because he wants to go murder some fools. So there's a little bit of back and forth over actually, is it smart for Damon to kick centrally? He's in the cover, it's going to be difficult for me to go after him, but actually in the end we sort of talk about, you know, if he wants to kick wide, maybe he wants to jog wide or slightly wider than he is, because he doesn't just want to toss the ball straight down the middle to me. Now I've got 2 of my faster but non-goal scoring players on each flank, which are Tower and Chisel, both of which can sprint up to 8. In the end, Damon actually decides to go sort of for a kick wide, knowing that it would pull Tower out of position and would mean I would have to run with Tower, not really be able to do much else turn 1. So the kick is accurate, doesn't go for the tap-in kick, but it doesn't matter, and it scatters 5 to the 5. It is a near perfect kick-off, really. It's going to be, because I haven't deployed Tower wide enough, Tower's not going to be able to get there, and because of the way Jackstraw works, Jackstraw is going to be able to get there. So sort of look at sort of my options on turn 1, really. I can't reach the ball, so there's not really much point in going for it. What I forgot was, of course, that if I'd wanted to, Corbelli could have dummy passed someone, but they probably could have reached it. But I'd decided maybe that was not the best choice, mostly because I was trying to be greedy with Corbelli. So I'm looking there about, do I want to go with Marbles turn 1? In the end, I just decided to jog Granite and put up Broken Earth. So Damon jogs Buckwheat in response. Marbles then does sprint into the cover, I think just out of the cover, and tries to go to Thresher but misses. Plowman uses gliding, jogs and puts Broken Earth up. We will put out the harvest markers shortly. Damon had just sort of forgotten about them, so at the moment I said it's fine, put them up in a minute when we remember. There's no point in playing the game if you're not going to do anything with those skills that he was intending to use. So Chisel just goes for a sprint into cover. In hindsight, I probably should have pushed her towards the top of the screen on the left flank and sort of left Buckwheat hanging in the wind with Windle over there, but never mind. Jackstraw does Jackstraw things. He crops dusts, jumps for free, pays to jump, and then sprints, snapping the ball and goes into cover. Tower whacks tooled up on Corbelli, and then we'll go for a sprint. So he's going to be outside of Jackstraw engaging him, but he is in cover and he's a 3-2, so Jackstraw's not really going to be able to do anything to him. Tater will then sprint and use gliding, obviously, to get through the terrain there. In the end, he decides to actually sit in the cover in case I come for him, but he's obviously still going to track the harvest marker being there for counter charge. So Flint does what Chisel should have done, really, and deviates to the left. He just wears their goes and sprints. Windle goes for a jog, just sort of getting himself into position perhaps for next turn. Now Corbelli will choose whether or not he spends a while. I basically spend a while trying to figure out, do I actually want to go in with anyone? Obviously, we look at Tater's counter charge. We look at the rough ground bubble. I'm not going to be able to get there, is the upshot of it. Not without exposing Corbelli to Thresher, and maybe that's not something I want to do. Yes, Thresher probably wouldn't be able to charge me, but would be able to jog, generate a bunch of momentum off me, go first, just kill Corbelli. So in the end, I decide to dummy pass Granite. In hindsight, I don't move her the right way, really. I probably should dummy pass Chisel to bring her back, but never mind. And we then sprint acrobatics, and we legendary to take the ball. Now, I'm not sure if this was the right option at this stage. I probably shouldn't have legendary to take the ball. Maybe I should have just hoped to go first next turn. I'm not likely to, actually, because Thresher's going to come in and just generate a ton of momentum off someone. But maybe popping the legendary this early was a bad choice. But hindsight, it would be difficult for Jack Straw himself to generate momentum off anyone, so never mind. So we figure out that Thresher can actually charge if he wants to. Now, again, we ummed and ahed about what the option was, whether or not he should go for Flint, or whether he should just go in for marbles and just generate a ton of momentum. Now, I think I also make a slight tactical boo-boo here. So he does go in. He ends within 3 of Granite. So he's out of Granite's 2. He charged marbles, who did defensive stance, and all he scores is the momentous 2. I then choose to jog Granite away from Thresher before Thresher puts up the 3-inch melee and can start attacking her. In hindsight, maybe I should have gone in and crowded him out a bit against marbles, but hindsight is 2020. Thresher will then start buying attacks on marbles. So he's going to do a momentous 3 and a 1-inch dodge, followed by a momentous 3 and a 1-inch dodge. So he's basically going to take out marbles. So marbles, basically that takeout puts him to 0 and 1 in his favour, and then he does a momentous 3 and a 1-inch dodge on Granite, just for like that little bit of extra damage and that little bit of positioning. He does dodge out of melee with Granite though. So we're sort of looking at plot cards now. Momentum wise, I've got none, and Damon is on 6. So it's not going to take a lot for Damon to win the initiative this turn, and realistically he probably wants to. He's got two models near my ball carrier. So we flip cards. I've got keep your chin up, and he's got keep the ball moving. So unsurprisingly, Damon chooses to take initiative. He probably quite correctly here chooses to go with Thresher first rather than with Jack Straw. I don't think Jack Straw would have had enough tack to have gotten through all the crowd outs and everything that are currently on him to have taken the ball off Flint. So Thresher will jog round Granite's melee, and he will attack Flint. Now he actually rolls quite badly here, and he does just a momentous 2, which does trigger between a rock. So Granite jogs base to base with Thresher just to crowd him out by 2. So Thresher will bonus time an attack and trigger close control by choosing the non-momentous tackle. He will then make another attack and score a momentous 2. He'll make another attack and he will tackle. So he's left to take a shot on the goal. So he's got his 1 influence. Marbles is in the way and Granite is engaging. So he's down a dice, but he's up a dice because to keep the ball moving. So he needs a 5. However, he does score it on his 3 dice. So that puts him to 0 and 5 in favour of the Farmers. And he dodges away to the centre of the pitch, so I haven't got a load of crowd outs on him. I'm trying to figure out where at this stage to kick the ball to. Obviously the smart move is that ton of players I have over there. As you can see, the ball scatters a little bit towards Jack Straw. So Corbelli will dummy pass Flint, so Flint goes and gets the ball. I do look at whether or not Flint can get the ball himself for a while. I eat a bit of my clock here trying to figure out is it worth going for a goal with Flint. In the end, possession of the ball is probably a lot more important at this stage. So I do in the end decide to go with Corbelli. And like I said, he dummy passes Flint forward, so Flint collects the ball. And then he will go for a jog and he'll just attack Jack Straw. Just again, we're after some momentum generation at this stage, so he'll do a momentous dodge, a momentous 2, and a momentous 2. At that point, Damon realises he probably needs to activate Jack Straw. So Jack Straw will crop dust. He does get some damage in on both Granite and on Flint and Corbelli. So actually, I choose to activate Granite's Between a Rock. She jogs forward, but she doesn't actually quite get there. So she doesn't crowd out Jack Straw. So Jack Straw buys an attack on Flint and does a momentous 2, or is it a non-momentous 2, sorry, and then buys another attack and does just a momentous tackle, and then just sort of teleports as far away as he can, not very far, but a little bit. Just trying to keep out of as much range as possible of my players. So I'm going to activate Granite next. I choose to sprint with Granite to kill both those harvest markers, mostly because I think they need to be gone, and she's just going to go up and attack Jack Straw with a single attack. So choose to do a momentous push, because obviously I'm quite close to the table edge now with Jack Straw, and I haven't activated Tower yet. So I'm debating whether or not do I push Jack Straw off this turn, or do I leave it for the top of the next turn, try and get that momentum advantage. So Plowman activates, he'll drop his 2 harvest markers, and he'll jog and then put up Broken Earth. So pretty simple activation there for Plowman. Chisel will sprint into the cover to engage Thresher, just so she's away from all of Damon's attacking models down here, all those Reapers. Buckwheat will go for a sprint. Marbles will jog and attack Thresher and do a momentous 2. Again, more for the momentum generation. There's no point in goading at this stage. Windle's going to sprint through the woods after taking the free gliding from Plowman. Flint is going to jog base to base with Jack Straw. Now, we'll start buying attacks. There's no point in him buying counter-attacks, because Flint has 1 armour and Granite is crowding out. So, I'll do a momentous tackle, then I'll buy a second attack and do a non-momentous 1. I will spend my Keep Your Chin Up card to heal Granite by 4, and spend momentum to heal Flint by 4. I'll then do a momentous push dodge on my final attack. Tater will go for a sprint, and he'll be running all the way around here just to again set up this counter charge bubble to prevent potential attacks next turn. And finally we've got Tower. He's going to jog, he'll attack Jack Straw and do a momentous push. What I probably should have done at this stage on the second attack was pushed him off the pitch. I think I was a little bit concerned about him coming back on, but he wouldn't have been able to tackle Flint at this stage, so perhaps that was a poor choice in my decision. Instead, he just does a knockdown just to set Jack Straw up for next turn. So we're coming into turn 3. I have 8 momentum and the farmers have 2. So I play Go for the Knees and we put +1 tack on Granite, and Damon plays Seize the Initiative, not because he needs the bonus but because he wants to try and save Jack Straw. In hindsight, I do choose to dodge Flint, but I probably should have dodged Flint literally base to base with Jack Straw to prevent Jack Straw getting round me too far. Jack Straw dodges this way towards his own goal. In hindsight as well, I'm thinking I probably should have put the +1 tack on Chisel, activated Chisel first, and just had 4 attacks into Thresher, perhaps aiming for the concussion, just to try and limit his damage potential as well. That would have put her up to 8 dice. So, not terrible. I think after we'd gotten a couple of the attacks in, it may have basically stymied Thresher's sort of counter assault a little bit. Especially looking at Chisel's playbook, your concussion is on 4, so it's very possible that I may have got it. Never mind. So Tower jogs and attacks Jack Straw, does a momentous 2, and then tools up Granite. Jack Straw will stand up with his movement. he will drop a crop dusting, which does 2 damage to granite, and then he jumps away and declares an attack on granite, which I declare a counter attack to. With granite being a 3/2, he kind of needs 3 results to be able to do anything to get away. So he'll make his attack roll, nothing, because he rolls a 2, and I counter attack and do a 2 damage gut and string thanks to Tooled Up. And then Jackstraw will jump away a tiny bit just to try and keep out of range. Now I debate with Corbelli, do I go into Jackstraw? Because I can destroy a Harvest Marker, get in cover, wail on him, get a bit of momentum. Would put me in threat range of both Windle and Tater. But decide in the end, you know what, let's go for it. So Corbelli will dummy past Flint and charge Jackstraw. He will get a wrap actually, thanks to Jackstraw's Gut and String, and we'll get a momentous dodge and a non-momentous knockdown. Then he'll attack again and do a momentous 2. Playman will go for a sprint and drop some Harvest Markers. So the idea here, I think, for Damon was to get a Harvest Marker close to Thresher, so that Thresher can take a Harvest Marker, do 3 damage to my 2 players over there. Again, I don't know how I didn't see this coming. It's looking back at the video, it's really clear actually what was going on here. But it was good to see how that was being played out by Damon. So Flint will go next. I don't know why I chose to go for the goal here. I think this was perhaps a mistake. I think I just want to get some points on the board. So Flint, where's they goes, he sprints, he takes a shot and he scores a screamer. So that puts the score to 4-5 in favour of the Farmers. And then we'll kick the ball out, and it ends up a little bit towards the camera, just by Buckwheat. And anyone who's played Buckwheat before knows how fast Buckwheat is, and got a decent ranged kick as well. So Thresher will activate. He will go for a jog and take a parting blow from Marbles, which does a wrap and does 3 damage. Doesn't really do much to Thresher though, after having already hit him a lot. He's fine, or not hit him a lot, sorry, he's fine. So he's going to attack Chisel, he'll do a 3 damage knockdown, then a momentous 4, then a momentous 3, then a momentous 3. He'll then attack Marbles and do a momentous 2. So anyone who's keeping track of those health points of those players will now know that Thresher just removes that Harvest Marker, does 3 damage and kills both Chisel and Marbles, putting him to 4-8. So that's 8 points in favour of the Farmers, with that ball, as we can see, just behind Buckwheat. So I activate Granite, and Granite chooses to charge Tater. Not sure this was again the best tactical option on my part, but I think I was looking at more getting points on the board, knowing that I would just kill Jackstraw in a couple of hits. I didn't really want to devote all of her into Tater. So all of her attacks, bearing in mind she's got Loved Creature, she's got the +1 attack, she's charging, she's 6 attack base, rolls not a single 6, because David chooses defensive stance and counter attack. So he does a momentous 2 back. I do a momentous 3 to take out and trigger reanimate on Jackstraw, and then I do a momentous 2 on Tater. So it's worth pointing out that currently Jackstraw is still gut and strong, has 3 HP, but is no longer knocked down. So Windle will eat a Harvest Marker and jog to Corbelli. Windle does quite a bit of damage. Obviously, there's a gang up there from Jackstraw as well. And Corbelli will declare the counter-attack, because at such a low defence I might be able to get away from Windle. Windle will take the knockdown on his first attack, which is probably the right choice. He's not necessarily going to take me out in one go anyway. So he buys an attack, does momentous 3. I jog Granite in, just to add the crowd out there. And then he berserk attacks and does another momentous 3 anyway. Tower is going to spend 2 and stand up Corbelli. He's going to jog base to base with Jackstraw, knock him down, attack him again, does a non-momentous 3 for the takeout, so 6-8 in favour of the Farmers. And Buckwheat will sprint, snap the ball on the way, eat that harvest marker in the centre to make his extra jog, which gets him into tap-in range of the goal. Now, anyone who's played against Buckwheat before will know he's a surprisingly good goal threat. And it will not surprise anyone that he taps the goal in and scores. So it is Farmers 12, Mason 6. Thanks very much for watching.